The deleted scenes and behind the scenes. Footage from the Venom: The Last Dance movie will be released very soon, and it has been announced what will be shown in order. In addition, very important explanations were shared about the topics we are curious about regarding the movie. I will explain every detail for those who are curious about the deleted scenes, behind-the-scenes footage and references to the sequels, my friends. However, just before that, if you are new to the channel and do not want to miss the content, do not forget to subscribe and like the video. The first detail that needs to be explained is this. I have mentioned this to you on my broadcast channel and in the review video. The green symbiote we saw in the movie was really going to be Toxin. In other words, they were going to waste Toxin in the movie as you know it and trash the character. However, the name of the green symbiote was not announced before the movie was released, thinking that this would garner too much backlash. It was revealed that Mulligan had previously merged with another symbiote and that symbiote had abandoned Mulligan. The scene in the movie where it was revealed that the green symbiote was actually Toxin was deleted. They will explain this to us when the deleted scenes are released. But it won't matter, because the scene was deleted. Because the symbiote we call Toxin should have come from the lineage of Venom. So when Carnage caught Mulligan, a small piece of symbiote would have gotten into him. This symbiote would grow over time and then turn into Toxin. According to the final cut of the movie, the version we watched, it was shown that another symbiote was injected into Mulligan later. So don't worry guys, even though it was revealed in the deleted scene that this symbiote was Toxin, Toxin will still be alive in reality. I wanted to explain this at the beginning because I don't want anyone to get confused when the deleted scenes are released. At least they corrected this mistake before the movie was released. If they had continued this mistake, I would have given the movie a 1 point and passed. Now we can follow the Sony Spider-Man universe knowing that Toxin is still out there and will return in Spider-Man's 4th movie. In another deleted scene, they were going to show Flash Thompson in more detail. If you haven't seen it or haven't watched my Agent Venom video yet, there were a few different scenes in the movie where Flash Thompson was present. In fact, Flash's legs were torn apart by a xenophage in the final battle. As a result of this situation, Flash Thompson would turn into Agent Venom, thanks to a piece of venom recovered in the post-credits scene. His legs will heal and he will be much stronger than before. There was going to be an extra scene in the movie where they specifically introduced Flash Thompson so that we wouldn't miss his cameo, but they found it unnecessary and deleted it. I didn't like the deletion of this scene at all, because it was a move that greatly reduced the chances of us seeing Agent Venom in the future. It doesn't seem possible for the Sony Spider-Man universe to continue after Kraven the Hunter. Even Daniel RPK said that Kraven could be the last movie in the Sony Spider-Man universe. I think Sony decided not to continue after all this criticism and negative feedback. Depending on the success of Kraven, they may consider a possible sequel. But right now, they have 2 different projects they want to focus on. First, the Spider-Verse animated series, and second, the Spider-Man movies continuing in the MCU. Sony is not a studio that only produces Marvel content anyway. We know that Sony produces a lot of movies and even series every year. So it is quite normal for them to take a long break from movies. Maybe they deleted this scene where Flash Thompson is especially known, in order not to make people expect anything. In the last cut of the movie, they show Flash Thompson's legs being cut off and say that if we continue one day, we will continue from here. When we look at the other deleted scenes, we see that they are 5 to 6 minute short films. In these scenes, they were going to show the relationship and connection between Venom and the other symbiotes. They had to touch on where and how the symbiotes came from. They had to show why this symbiote wasn't as angry and aggressive as the others. The symbiotes brought to the world in the first movie were invaders and served Null. In fact, Riot was going to bring other symbiotes to complete the invasion and completely take over the world. However, the symbiotes captured in the third movie were the ones who were looking for a planet to take shelter in and rebelled against Null. Because the symbiotes who rebelled against Null hated the harm Null caused, they would never think of harming people. Therefore, the symbiotes will briefly touch on the background story in the movie. Sometimes we get reactions when we criticize movies for being short. Is it important for the movie to be long? Or is the movie better when it is long? They say. However, This movie is a fan movie, and the more details it provides, the more CGI scenes it shows, the more it satisfies the audience. The guys cut the scenes so that there is no CGI expense, thus reducing the budget of the movie even more. Since we are against this, we want the movie to be long. If there was no symbiote war at the end of the third movie, I would not like this movie. I am saying it very clearly, because I would feel cheated by showing so many symbiotes in the trailer, just to avoid extra costs. Have you ever seen a deleted scene with a completed visual effects? Almost all deleted scenes are deleted, because the visual effects are not complete and they are deleted. To avoid extra costs, for example, in another deleted scene, they talk about Venom's legacy. What does Venom's legacy mean? It means a scene where they talk about Carnage and his descendant Toxin. Do you think it would be bad if we saw this scene in the movie? I would prefer to watch these scenes instead of the scene where Venom will dance like an idiot in his true form and summon Xenophage. That's why when it comes to Marvel, DC, Sonic, or Monsterverse movies, I personally prefer the movies to be long. For me, a short movie makes it worthless and unimportant. I think they made the movie short because it had nothing to say. If we are not watching a Frenchie movie here, that is, if it is not a production that can be connected to sequels, those who prefer it to be a short movie are right. But you can fill a cinematic universe production as much as you want. You can reference as many sequels and prequels as you want. When you have this opportunity, if you are making a short film, your only goal is to release the film, make money and tell nothing. The Venom Let There Be Carnage film was exactly such a production. The film didn't tell anything. It can't even be called a film. It can be called a short story that can be released on Disney+. They managed to save the film only because it was connected to No Way Home at the end. However, the film didn't tell anything about Venom and Carnage other than what we already knew. So even if you just watched the trailer of this film, it would be enough. Approximately 5:30 minutes of action scenes were deleted from the film. I'm talking about a 5:30-minute scene where Venom is running away on a motorcycle and the Xenophages are following him. There was going to be a stunt scene that was almost entirely visual effects and was removed from the movie. They were going to show Venom's ability to use a motor as a supercomputer and what he could do. So, long story short, friends, most of the scenes that served the story and required visual effects were deleted from the movie. When these scenes are completely released, maybe I'll make one more video. However, I prepared this content as a preliminary information. A total of 53 minutes of scenes were deleted. Yes, more than half of them were really unnecessary and were removed. But 53 minutes, which means almost 1 hour of footage, will be released. Maybe I'll just share the scenes on Instagram and move on. So don't forget to join my broadcast channel. That's all from me for now. Take care. Goodbye.